Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most magnificent, the ever merciful. We glorify Him, we praise Him, and of course, we elevate His name as He ought to be elevated. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I extend to you the eternal and of course the universal salutation of peace. May the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you. A most pleasant good morning going out to you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning, coming very close towards the end of the week. We're heading towards the weekend. How has your week been thus far? I hope all has been well. As always, I hope that and pray that you are healthy, well, enjoying a period of happiness, prosperity, and well-being. Well, I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Sarfraz Ghani, here in your company once again on this auspicious and holy day of Friday, the day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago. Jum'ah Mubarak going out to you and yours. But of course, before we move any further, I must take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to Pandit Shivan Hari Prasad for all those beautiful and wonderful words of inspiration and motivation. And we do wish him a safe and a speedy trip back home. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the magnificent, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Oh Allah, it is you do we worship, and from you only do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not the path of those who have evoked your anger, nor the path of those who have gone astray. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Well, with that being said, today's Islamic date is the 16th day in the month of Rabi'ul Awwal, which of course is the third month on the Islamic calendar in the year 1446. We've just gone past half of this particular month, just another 13 or 14 days to go to complete this particular month as well on the Islamic calendar. And today also coincides with the third Friday in the month of September for the year 2024. And as I always like to say, the key is not in spending time. The key is not in passing time, rather it is in investing in time. And what are you doing with the time given to you? That is a question that, of course, you will have to answer to yourself. And at this point, we are now getting ready to commence the holy day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago, of course. Allow me now to take the opportunity to officially welcome you live on air, live on the internet, live across our social feeds as well, for this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations. Your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. Definitely do stick around. I've got lots to share with you as we continue on with this particular hour right here on 103.1 FM.
الصبح بدا من طلعته والليل دجى من وفرته है नूर साहर चेहरे से तेरे और शब की रौनक जुल्फों से अल्लाह 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 गंजे لا إله إلا الله.
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the TriniLink Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations. Yes, that's right. You are tuned into Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safrusgani. As always, I must say it's an absolute honor and, of course, a personal pleasure to be in your company once again this morning. And, of course, you can reach out to me. You can message me via the WhatsApp number 2994103. Alternatively, you can send me a message via the WhatsApp number, or you can send me a message via the social feeds as well. And of course, you can view a live stream of this morning's program across our social feeds. If you've got Facebook, you can go to your search bar, type in Safras Ghani. If you've got YouTube, you can again go to your search bar, type in Imam Safras Ghani, and that would give you the options to view the program live this morning. Of course, on the program this morning, we've got a very, very intriguing segment lined up for you. We start off with our short inspirational segment. We've got our a few beautiful Islamic selections. We've got our lecture segment coming up. On our lecture segment this morning, I'll be talking about the meaning of a true legacy. What really can be considered to be a true legacy? That is coming up a bit later on the program. So definitely do stick around. You are tuned into Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM. My heart is so full of longing. I wish to be close to my beloved. I dream to walk in the streets of Medina and to quench the thirst of my spirit by visiting you, O Muhammad. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Habibi ya Nabi Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Habibi ya Nabi Allah. Ya Rasul Allah. I left all my troubles and worries as I entered your mosque so gently. And as I finally stood there before you, I couldn't stop my tears from falling in your presence, oh Muhammad. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Habibi ya Nabi Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Habibi ya Nabi Allah. Ya Rasul Allah. Oh, Tayyibah, your breeze is a blessing. Indeed, it brought life back to my spirit. I've left my heart with my beloved, sending blessings on Muhammad. Oh, Tayyibah, your breeze is a blessing. Indeed, it brought life back to my spirit. I've left my heart with my beloved, sending blessings on Muhammad. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Habibi ya Nabi Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Habibi ya Nabi Allah. Ya Rasul Allah. Allah's blessings and mercies unto you and yours on this beautiful Friday morning. It is, of course, the day of Jum'ah. We are coming towards the end of another week in our lives, and of course, another day. We have been blessed with another day. And as you look forward to another day in your life, as you welcome the gift of a brand new day, sometimes it is very, very important for you to understand that you don't need to see the entire path to be able to take the first step. Always remember that you can take the first step sometimes with fear and doubt. But on the other hand, you can also take the first step with hope and trust. The option is yours. The choice is entirely yours. Too often we think we need to have it all figured out, and we need to have it all planned out before we get started. But the truth is, sometimes in life, the best journeys aren't the ones that are planned, from start to finish. Sometimes the best journey in life are the ones that are unexpected, because they take unexpected twists and turns that will eventually lead you to where you need to go. Sometimes these routes and these pathways take a bit longer than you think, and they will teach you a lot of things that you were never prepared for. But at the end of the day, you get to your destination, and when you find yourself at the foot of a path, don't worry about anything that lies ahead. Just take the first step and have trust in the Almighty, and I can tell you, you will find your way. And instead of planning for the worst case scenario, Plan for the best case scenario. Because when you plan for the worst case scenario, you send your anxiety levels skyrocketing. But when you plan for the best case scenarios, you are then able to restore your peace, and then with a cool, calm head, you are then able to move forward. So on that note, I say to you this morning, may Allah bless you this day. May He remove all challenges and obstacles from your path. May He continue to guide your footsteps towards all that is good. And may He grant you the courage and the strength to face the challenges that will come your way this day. Coming up in a short bit, we've got our inspirational segment literally just around the corner. Do stick around. I'm yours truly, Imam Safar Ghani, right here on 103.1 FM.
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the Trini Link Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations.
So this morning, I want you to hear me and hear me well. Because what I'm about to tell you is of extreme importance. In life, it is a universal truth that you will always come across people who will want to push your limits and who will want to push your boundaries. People will push your limits to see what you are made of. And only when you stand up for yourself do they then tend to respect you. From your relationships to your professional endeavors, you will find yourself facing challenges, and you will find yourself facing individuals who will test your capabilities and your resilience. They will try to aggravate you to see how far they can push you, to see how much you can take, to see how much you will tolerate, and to see what is your breaking point, so that they can figure out how much they can take advantage of you. You may find that you feel as though your buttons are being pushed or people are walking all over you. And this can be a very, very uncomfortable feeling. All of a sudden, you will be faced with decisions like, where is my line? How can I let people know that they have crossed that line? How can I prevent them from crossing it again? Is it even okay for me to ask them to take a step back? Will they still accept me? Will they still acknowledge me? Will they still respect me? You have now found yourself in a dilemma. These people, on the other hand, are known as boundary pushers. And it's very important that you are able to identify these individuals when you come across them in your life. And it's very important that you understand how they operate and what you can do to counteract the effects that these boundary pushers have on your life. The simple truth is that you teach people how to treat you. You treat people how to communicate with you. You do have a choice in how you treat people. You do have a choice in how people treat you as well. You can't set your own boundaries. You do deserve to be respected and treated in a way that feels good to you. And setting boundaries will improve your life and how you feel about yourself. So this morning, you need to ask yourself 3 very, very important questions. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is a boundary? Well, quite simply, a boundary is anything that marks a limit, a line that you feel should not be crossed. Sometimes you are not even aware of where these lines are drawn until someone decides to step over them. When someone crosses that line, you may feel upset, you may become emotional, you may feel taken advantage of, you may feel used or even hurt and just sad and irritated. But that is quite all right. The important thing to remember is, what is a boundary? Second question that you need to remember, you need to understand this morning is, what do boundary pushers look like? What are some of the things that they tend to do? Well, boundary pushers can come in a variety of forms. They can be family members, friends, co-workers, neighbors, or quite frankly, anyone you may come into contact with at some point in your life. Some of their characteristics include being narcissistic, immature, entitled, selfish, privileged, desperate, clueless, or a combination of some or all of the above. They want what they want, and as far as they're concerned, your boundaries can literally go to hell. They do things like flat out ignore your boundaries. They test you to see if you mean it. They argue with your reason for having the boundary in the first place. They try to manipulate you into relaxing your boundaries. They try to wear you down. But it's important that you draw the line in the sand, so to speak. The third question you need to understand is how to counteract boundary pushers. Well, rule number one, set clear and distinct boundaries and be very clear in communicating those boundaries. Setting boundaries with others is a very, very important life skill. And sometimes you need to set limits on what you are willing to do, how far you are willing to go, how much you are willing to let someone take advantage of you, how much you are willing to allow another person to mistreat you, to oppress you. And a lack of healthy boundaries can harm your emotional, your psychological, your physical, and even your financial health as well. Without good boundaries, you are enabling yourself to accept behavior that is not healthy for yourself. And in life, you must conclude that your boundary is worth standing up for. Know that if you are dedicated to the right cause, you don't have to give anyone an explanation. Don't compromise yourself just to avoid their displeasure. Respect yourself enough to remember that you have a right to your boundary. It is your time, your money, your effort, your body, your honor, your dignity, your self-esteem, your job, etc. on the line. So understand that that is what is going to make your life much more pleasurable, easy. And keep it in mind that it may take a while for some boundary pushers to take your boundaries seriously. Understand that it's a risky behavior. It is risky to give into a boundary pusher. It reinforces their behavior and it makes them continue to try again and again because they know that you are not holding fast to your boundary. In conclusion, it is an inevitable part of life that people will try to push your limits to simply see what you are made of. The challenges and obstacles you face can be transformative, allowing you to discover your true capabilities and your true strengths. By understanding the motivations behind these limits, and by employing effective strategies, I'm saying to you this morning that you can rise above these challenges. So demonstrate resilience. And if you can do that, you will most definitely unlock your full potential. Because remember, it is only through adversity that you are able to grow. It is only through adversity that you're able to show the world what you are truly made of. Once you are connected to the Almighty, once you are able to place your full trust in Him, without worrying what the other person has to say, without paying too much attention to the naysayers, that trust that you have in the Almighty will pull you through. Once your values are good, and what you subscribe to are upright. Those are things that will propel you forward. So those two things I want you to hold on to this morning. Number one, ensure that your values are upright. Don't stand up for the wrong thing. Ensure that what you are standing up for is the correct thing. And hold fast to that. Place your trust in the Almighty. And I can tell you, He definitely will deliver you to higher ground. You will find yourself in a more spiritual place. And above all, you will find yourself in a much more peaceful place and environment in your life.
Allah.
At this point in the program, we now go to the early morning call to prayer. The early morning call to prayer is being brought to you this morning through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Cunupia.
أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على حي على حي على حي Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products.
ही तो चाहत मेरी, तू ही मेरा सुकून, तू ही तो राहत मेरी, तू है मेरा जुनून, तू ही रातों में है मेरी, तू ही बातों में है मेरी, किसी और को नहीं, मैं बस तुझको ही मानूं, तेरा मैं हो जाऊं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं, तेरी ही बात कहूं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं, सजदे सर झुकता है, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं, तेरा मैं हो जाऊं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं। चाहत मुझे दे दे, जन्नत मुझे दे दे, मेरी बातों में यादों में तू, रब्बा तू है मेरा, सोनिया वे रब्बा, तेरी इबादत करूं रात दिन, रब्बा मेरे सोनिया, अख मेरी तरस दिया, सोनी जन्नत जुदे तकलेफा, तेरा मैं हो जाऊं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं, तेरी ही बात कहूं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं, सजदे सर झुकता है, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं, तेरा मैं हो जाऊं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं। Nobody can take away my pyar for you. Your love and your pyar is the one that's true. Everybody go to सान नहीं जानते, I think सान forever तो सान नहीं थकते, शुक्र तेरा रब्बा, तेरा मैं हो जाऊं, रब्बा मैं क्या करूं। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अकबर, सुब्हानल्लाह, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, अकबर. At times I feel that the sun is hidden by a hazy sky, and the lights around me hide the moon at night. I know you're closer than the veins that keep me living, 'cause all around me I feel your mercy. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah. Every now and then we need just a little time to and leads their ways to me. Now I need your guiding light. Guide me like the stars at night. Guide me through the storms of life. Guide me until the day I die. Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. Now I'm caught inside a sea of flashing light, a storm that blinds us all from wrong and right. And the trials of life seem like the mountains high. For this light above it all is worth the climb. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. Oh my Lord supreme, how easily you speak to me. Be it your sun's evening glow or the sweetness of the summer's air. And only you know how this inspires me. And for the rest of my days, true to you I'll always be. Alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, akbar, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, akbar, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, akbar, subhanallah. في ليلة من الليالي لست أدري ما تراني ظلمة تغمرني يا رب. الأرض ضاقت والسماء وقلبي نار الضياء والدمع بات يبكي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي. عصيت والذنب كبير وإني في حزني أسير مقيد بذنبي يا رب. فهل أستحق يا إلهي عفو مجرما مقر بالذنوب يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي. أنت الذي خلقتني رحمتني ورزقتني دوما يا رب قد كنت معي لكنني نهيت عنك نسيت ما قد كان وسرت في طريق يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي. أنت الذي خلقتني رحمتني ورزقتني دوما يا رب قد كنت معي لكنني أعرض عنك نسيت ما قد كان وسرت في طريق يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي. طريق فلا أرى إلا سواك لمنقذا لا منجا ولا منجا إلا أنت يا إلهي 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 يا إلهي
Welcome back. I'm yours truly, Imam Safras Ghani, host of this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment on this beautiful Friday morning, the day of Jum'ah. Of course, Jum'ah Mubarak going out to you and yours. May the blessings of Almighty Allah continue to enshroud you and your family. Well, at this point, we now get into our lecture segment. And like I mentioned before, of course, you can send me a message via the WhatsApp number 2994103. Alternatively, you can shoot me a message via the social feeds as well. Thank you so much for all of the kind words, the beautiful messages I have received thus far via the WhatsApp and, of course, via the social feeds as well. Your beautiful words are always greatly appreciated. So this morning we're talking about legacy. What is a true legacy? Your legacy in life is indeed your greatest assets. And that in itself takes us to the very famous saying that how you live your life is how you will die. And I'm pretty sure that that is something that you would have heard before in your life. How you live is how you die. Which then in itself urges us to live an upright life, to live a life of goodness, to try to be a good individual, to try to be kind and generous to others, and generally speaking, to do everything that is good, that is right there in front of you. Because like I mentioned before, that is eventually going to be your legacy. And that is eventually how you are going to die. Today, when people think legacy, they think materialistically. That my legacy is the house and land that I was able to accumulate. The legacy is the enormous bank accounts that I was able to accumulate throughout the course of my life. But always remember that when you die and you leave this world, those things will not be taken with you. You simply can't wrap up the house and land and pack it away in a suitcase and take it with you when you're going. You can't stuff your luggage, so to speak, with the monetary gains of this world. So that begs to ask the question, what really is a true legacy? And to answer that question, let us look at one of the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And in my opinion, this tradition literally outlines to us what a true legacy should be. So the tradition goes that when a man dies, إِذَا مَاتَ الْإِنسَانِ, when a man dies, انقطع عمله, of course his good deeds come to an end. He can no longer do any deed, whether good or bad. إلا من ثلاث, except 3 avenues which are then left open for the individual. And the commentators of this particular tradition mention that this is only through the grace of Almighty Allah. But even though we are dead, even though we are unable to breathe, we are unable to even move a single limb, yet still we have 3 avenues left open for us to gain goodness. What are those 3 avenues? Number 1, ongoing charity. Some form of ongoing charity that you were able to do while you were alive in this world. You gave charity to an orphanage. You gave charity to a good cause. And then you died and you left that charity behind, and that charity kept multiplying and multiplying, and people kept receiving the blessings from that charity. You were able to dig a well. You were able to build something that the general masses were able to benefit from. That is one avenue left open for you. The second avenue, knowledge, beneficial knowledge. While you were alive, you were able to teach someone something beneficial. You taught an individual how to pray. You taught another individual how to give charity, how to be righteous, how to be inspiring and motivating, and so on and so forth. and then you died, and then that person carried on that chain, passed it on to another individual and another person. That is the second avenue left alive, open for you, even while you are in your grave. The third avenue, a righteous child, a pious offspring who will pray for you after you leave this world. In other words, while you are alive in this world, you were able to guide your offspring along a path of righteousness, along a path of goodness, along a path of spirituality, and then you died and you left this world. They are your legacy. They are there to keep remembering you and praise and sending blessings onto your soul, and so on and so forth. That is the third avenue open for you. So in other words, in this tradition, we are being told that the best legacy is the one that if you are able to leave something behind that will benefit you after the grave, beyond the grave, that is something which is indeed considered to be the true legacy. And this morning I want to get a bit personal with you. I want to share with you a personal experience, because I think there is a very important lesson to be learned. So just last night, we buried our grandmother. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, yesterday morning, my grandmother passed away at 91. She was a very pious, very spiritual individual by all who knew her. She was a person, if I was to be asked to describe her, all I can simply say is that she was a person who literally changed the course of the river. She literally went against the tide during her lifetime. So about 35 to 40 years ago, she looked around and she realized that I don't like the direction my family is heading. I don't like the legacy that they're going to be leaving behind. So you know what? I think I need to make a change. And even if that change means going against the flow, even if it means going against the tide, I will put my shoulder to the wheel and I will ensure that that change is made, not just for my benefit, but for the benefit of my progeny. And yesterday when she passed, she was surrounded by not just family members, but from people who came from the lengths and the breadths of this country. She was known as a generous person in the community. People from the village, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, as kids on the occasions of Eid, we were sent by her to deliver parcels of food and to deliver gifts, to the members of the community who remembered those things yesterday. So her kindness was remembered, her generosity was remembered, her spirituality was remembered. And when we talk about the three avenues being left open for her, now that she has gone to the great beyond, during her lifetime, she gave so much charity, not just to her family members, but to anyone in general, anyone knocking on her door. She was there. Even if she didn't have, she was there to give. With regards to knowledge, you talk to all of the grandchildren and they will tell you that she was instrumental in guiding us along a path of knowledge. And when you talk about leaving righteous offspring behind, yesterday, standing around her coffin were not just her kids, but her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and even her great-great-grandchildren as well. She died at 91. So you can very well imagine 4 or 5 generations there standing around her, all praying for her, all praying that Allah blesses her soul and make the transition between worlds easy for her. And that in a nutshell is the true legacy. So today in this very superficial world, don't be misguided. In this world, people are no longer willing to roll up their sleeves. People are no longer willing to appreciate good characteristics. Trustworthiness, honesty, dependability, determination, steadfastness, discipline. It seems as though those characteristics belong to a foregone era. And everything in this era is about a quick gain and a fast turnover. It's all about who can outsmart who. And as we were leaving the funeral yesterday, one of my sons said to me, he said, It was such a huge funeral. He said, Mama, he said to me that Mama seems to be, she was very popular during her life. I mean, to have all of these people here to witness a funeral service, it seems as though she was very popular. So I turned to him and I said, yes, she was indeed popular, but she did not have a single social media account. She was never on YouTube. She was never on Instagram. She was never on Facebook. She had no friends in the social media realm. She was made famous simply because of the goodness of her heart, simply because of her piety, and simply because of her spiritual connection with the Almighty. Let that be a lesson for us all. And I take it as a lesson for myself first, and I decided to share that with you this morning. Not because of anything else, but because I firmly believe that there is a lesson to be learned. If you look at the good people, their ending is always good. If you look at the evil people, well, I don't need to tell you how their ending will turn out. May Allah continue to bless you and yours. May Allah continue to elevate us all and guide us towards laying the pathway for ourselves with regards to a very, very good legacy in this life.
Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, it's the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak. Waking up in the morning, got the special Friday feeling. Getting ready in my best clothes now. My jubba looking crisp, going all out. Jumping my ride to the masjid. Hearing the khutbah, it's a blessing. Now we're standing in the sun and we're praying. Then I greet our kids with assalamu alaikum. Friday is here and it is the best of days. When we go to the masjid and we all pray. There are blessings on this special day. Thank you, Allah, thank you for this day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak. Friday sunnahs are locked down, looking fresh with my miswas. Reading Surah Al-Kahf on a Friday. That's how the salawat on the Prophet is me upon it. Friday is here and it is the best of days. When we go to the masjid and we all pray. There are blessings on this special day. Thank you, Allah, thank you for this day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak. We all get this special day to change our ways, to cleanse our hearts, a brand new start. Oh, and don't forget that hour of Salat al-Istijabah, where prayers are accepted from our Allah. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak. It is Friday, this is the best day. Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak, Jumma Mubarak.
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the TriniLink Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations.
Yes, as we're coming to the end of the program for this morning, of course, I must take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. Very special salam and greetings of peace going out to you and yours, our listeners who would have joined us on the program this morning, to everyone who would have messaged via the WhatsApp, via the social feeds, both locally and internationally. May the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Of course, it was an absolute pleasure to be in your company for the past hour, so by all means, do catch me next week Friday from 5 a.m. as we bring to you another episode of Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. I'm your host and brother in humanity, signing out for this morning. Until next week Friday, please do have an extremely blessed day, blessed weekend, stay safe, stay in the mercy of Almighty Allah. Much love, and may the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
آبادن على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم سحر کا وقت تھا معصوم گلیاں مسکراتی تھی ہوائیں خیر مقدم کے ترانے گنگناتی تھی ابھی جبریل بھی اترے نہ تھے کعبے کے منبر سے کہ اتنے میں صدا آئی یہ عبداللہ کے گھر سے مبارک ہو شہ ہر دو جہاں تشریف لے آئے مبارک ہو محمد مصطفیٰ تشریف لے آئے مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم نہ کوئی آپ جیسا تھا نہ کوئی آپ جیسا ہے کوئی یوسف سے پوچھے